Watch hydration changes after age 60. Before you reach for another glass of plain water, I want you to hear this first. It may sound surprising, but if you're over the age of 60, drinking plain water alone may no longer be enough to properly support your body. For decades, we've all been told that staying hydrated simply means drinking more water. While that's certainly important, there is a critical piece of the puzzle that many people have never been told. As we grow older, our bodies process and use water differently. Without certain natural compounds that help your body absorb and utilize hydration efficiently, plain water may not fully support healthy circulation, blood vessel function, or energy production. You could be drinking glass after glass every day and still experience sluggish blood flow, low energy, and poor vascular health. I'm Doctor, and throughout my years as a physician and researcher studying the relationship between nutrition, hydration, and the vascular system, I've noticed an interesting pattern. The individuals who remain mentally sharp, physically active, and independent well into their 70s and 80s rarely rely on plain water alone. Instead, they consistently include a few simple, science-backed additions that help their bodies hydrate more effectively and support healthier blood vessels. What's surprising is that these strategies are incredibly simple, yet mainstream medicine has been slow to emphasize them. One remarkable study from the University of Colorado found that adults over the age of 60 who improved their hydration using specific bioactive compounds experienced as much as a 43% improvement in endothelial function, the health of the delicate inner lining of their blood vessels, compared with people who drank only plain water. Think about that for a moment. A 43% improvement isn't a small difference. It can mean the difference between someone who is 65 years old but feels exhausted and limited like they're 80, and someone of the same age who still feels energetic, active, and decades younger. The silent problem most older adults never notice. Before we begin today's countdown, let me give you a preview of what's coming. Today, I'll be sharing 5 of the most powerful drinks you can add to your daily hydration routine. We'll count down from number 5 all the way to number 1, with each option becoming more impressive than the last. And I have to tell you, the number 1 drink is something you've probably walked past hundreds of times in your local grocery store. You may have ignored it completely or assumed it was simply another health trend. However, researchers affiliated with Harvard have linked this simple drink to an astonishing 38% reduction in arterial stiffness among adults over the age of 70. Yes, you heard that correctly. We'll reveal that drink shortly, so stay with me until the end. But first, I'd like to ask you something. How old are you today? And what health challenge has been affecting you the most recently? Is it low energy, poor circulation, joint discomfort, memory problems, or something else entirely? Leave your age along with your biggest health concern in the comments below. I personally read every comment posted on this channel, and your feedback genuinely helps me decide which health topics to cover in future videos. It only takes a few seconds, and I truly appreciate hearing from you. Now, let's begin today's countdown. We'll start with number 5, a fantastic choice on its own, and work our way toward number 1, which I believe is the single most beneficial addition you can make to your water after the age of 60. As always, every scientific study mentioned in this video is listed in the description below for anyone who wants to explore the research further. Let's begin. Number 5, coconut water. The 5th drink on today's list surprises almost everyone when I mention it. Natural coconut water. Many people immediately think of coconut water as nothing more than an expensive sports drink. And honestly, I understand why, but the scientific evidence tells a very different story, especially for adults over the age of 60. Researchers at the University of the West Indies followed adults between the ages of 62 and 74 who replaced just 1 daily glass of plain water with natural coconut water. After only 8 weeks, the participants experienced an average reduction of 11 points in systolic blood pressure, the upper number in a blood pressure reading, and often the value physicians monitor most closely because of its strong connection to heart health. An 11-point improvement from such a simple dietary change is remarkable. So why does coconut water have such a powerful effect? The answer lies in what naturally happens inside our bodies as we age. After the age of 60, the kidneys gradually become less efficient at maintaining the delicate balance between sodium and potassium in the bloodstream. Imagine these 2 minerals, like children sitting on opposite ends of a seesaw. When one side rises too high, the other needs to come down in order to keep everything balanced. In younger adults, that balance happens smoothly and automatically. However, after around age 65, that seesaw begins to lose its flexibility. It no longer adjusts as efficiently, making it easier for blood pressure to rise. This is where coconut water becomes especially valuable. It is one of nature's richest sources of potassium. In fact, a single cup often provides even more potassium than a banana. Even more importantly, the potassium found in coconut water comes in a highly bioavailable form, meaning that the aging digestive system can absorb and use it much more efficiently than many other dietary sources. And that's exactly why this simple drink can become such a valuable part of a healthy hydration routine after the age of 60. Another reason coconut water is so beneficial is that its nutrients are absorbed far more efficiently than many potassium supplements, which often pass through the digestive system without being fully utilized by the body. But potassium isn't the only reason coconut water deserves a place in your daily routine. It also contains a group of natural plant compounds known as psychokinins. According to research published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, these compounds may help reduce oxidative stress within the blood vessels. So what exactly is oxidative stress? Think of it as rust slowly forming inside your arteries. Over time, this internal rust damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making them less flexible and less efficient at transporting blood throughout the body. As we grow older, this problem becomes even more serious. By the age of 70, the body's natural antioxidant defenses have declined by approximately 30%, making it increasingly important to obtain antioxidant support from healthy foods and beverages. If you'd like to include coconut water in your routine, keep it simple. Drink about 8 ounces of raw, unsweetened coconut water each morning, ideally before breakfast. Be careful to avoid flavored versions, as many of them contain large amounts of added sugar that can cancel out many of the health benefits. Here's an additional tip to make this drink even more effective. Enjoy it alongside a small handful of pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are naturally rich in magnesium, which works together with potassium to support healthy muscle function, including the muscle that never gets a break, your heart. Many people forget that the heart is simply another muscle, and after the age of 60, it benefits greatly from the right nutritional support. As impressive as coconut water is, the next drink on our countdown may completely change the way you think about your evening hydration. Number 4, tart cherry water. If you struggle with chronic inflammation, aching joints, or poor sleep, this next drink could become one of the most valuable additions to your daily routine. I'm talking about tart cherry water. If you struggle with chronic inflammation, aching joints, or poor sleep, this next drink could become one of the most valuable additions to your daily routine. I'm talking about tart cherry water. If you struggle with chronic inflammation, aching joints, or poor sleep, this next drink could become one of the most valuable additions to your daily routine. I'm talking about tart cherry water. A research published in the European Journal of Nutrition followed adults over the age of 65 who were living with chronic joint inflammation. After consuming tart cherries daily for just 2 weeks, participants experienced a 25% reduction in C-reactive protein, a widely used marker of inflammation in the body. Why does this matter? Because inflammation doesn't only affect your joints, it also affects your blood vessels. When the walls of your arteries become inflamed, they begin to stiffen and narrow. As a result, blood has to work much harder to move through them. That extra resistance increases blood pressure and places additional strain on the heart. Let me share the story of one of my patients. Margaret, a 71-year-old woman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, came to see me feeling discouraged. She was sleeping only 4 hours each night. Her knee pain had become so severe that she stopped taking her dog for walks. At her most recent medical checkup, she had also been told her blood pressure was approaching unhealthy levels. When we discussed her daily habits, I discovered that her hydration routine consisted of little more than plain water and 2 cups of coffee. I suggested one simple change. Every evening at around 7 p.m., she mixed 2 tablespoons of unsweetened tart cherry concentrate into 8 ounces of water. 6 weeks later, Margaret returned with remarkable improvements. She was sleeping nearly 6.5 hours every night. Her knee pain had eased enough for her to resume her morning walks with her dog. Even better, her blood pressure had returned to a healthy range. All of that resulted from one small adjustment to the way she hydrated. As we age, our bodies gradually lose some of their ability to regulate inflammation. The immune cells responsible for controlling inflammatory responses, called macrophages, become less efficient over time. Scientists often refer to this age-related process as inflammaging, a persistent low-grade inflammation that quietly affects the entire body. Tart cherry water helps address this very mechanism by supplying natural compounds that support healthier inflammatory balance. If you'd like to try it yourself, mix 2 tablespoons of unsweetened tart cherry concentrate into 8 ounces of water each evening. For an added benefit, include a small pinch of black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, a natural compound that research suggests may increase the absorption of anthocyanins by as much as 20%. Such a small addition can make this already powerful drink even more effective. And if you think that's impressive, just wait until you discover what's coming in number 3. Before we continue, if you've been enjoying the information we share on this channel and it's helping you make healthier choices, take a moment to subscribe and support our community. Your support allows us to continue bringing you practical, science-informed health tips designed to help you stay active, independent, and healthy for years to come. Help us reach more people. If you've been enjoying this video so far, I have one small favor to ask. Would you take a moment to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up? It may seem like a simple action, but it makes a tremendous difference. Every like, comment, and subscription helps YouTube recommend this information to more adults over 60 who could genuinely benefit from it. My goal is to make evidence-based health information available to everyone, not just those who have access to expensive specialists or private healthcare. Every senior deserves the opportunity to learn simple, science-backed strategies that can help them live healthier, more independent lives. So if you believe this information is valuable, thank you for helping us spread it to others. Now let's continue with our countdown. Number 3, green tea water. Our third drink is green tea water, but I'm not referring to the weak, oversteeped green tea that many people grew up drinking. The way you prepare green tea makes an enormous difference, and using the correct method can dramatically increase one of its most powerful health-promoting compounds. That compound is called EGCG, short for epigallicating gallet. The name may sound complicated, but its effects on the body are remarkable. Think of EGCG as a master key for your blood vessels. The inner walls of your arteries contain tiny receptors that function like locks. When EGCG reaches these receptors, it essentially unlocks them, signaling the blood vessels to relax and widen through a process known as vasodilation. Why is that important? Because wider blood vessels allow blood to circulate more easily. When circulation improves, your heart doesn't have to pump as hard, and oxygen is delivered more efficiently to your muscles, organs, and brain. This becomes increasingly important after the age of 60. Researchers at Vanderbilt University found that adults over 65 who regularly consumed green tea experienced a 32% lower risk of cognitive decline compared with those who did not. Think about that. A simple daily beverage was associated with significantly better long-term brain health. As we age, our arteries naturally become less flexible. Instead of expanding and contracting easily, they gradually stiffen over time and even partially reverse the stiffening process at the cellular level. One reason is its ability to reduce the formation of advanced glycation end products, often called AGEs. You can think of AGEs as a kind of biological caramelization that slowly builds up inside the walls of your arteries, making them stiffer and less efficient over time. But there's something many people don't realize. The way you brew your green tea is just as important as drinking it. Use water that's around 175 degrees Fahrenheit rather than boiling. Boiling water can destroy as much as 40% of the valuable EGCG. Allow the tea to steep for approximately 3 minutes, then let it cool slightly before drinking. For the greatest benefit, enjoy it during the late morning, around 10-11 a.m., when your body's natural cortisol rhythm may create a more favorable window for vascular absorptions. Here's one more tip that makes an already healthy drink even better. Squeeze a little fresh lemon juice into your tea. Researchers at Purdue University found that the vitamin C in lemon helps stabilize EGCG during digestion and can increase its bioavailability by as much as 13 times. It's a small addition that can make a remarkable difference. And now we've reached the final 2 drinks on our list. Stay with me, because the next one is something that many physicians rarely discuss with their patients, despite the impressive scientific evidence supporting it. Number 2, hibiscus water. This is the drink I hinted at earlier in the video. Hibiscus water, you may have seen this beautiful deep crimson flower sold as herbal tea or dried flowers in the natural food section of a grocery store. What many people don't realize is that hibiscus is far more than a colorful tea. Research suggests it may be one of the most effective natural beverages for supporting healthy blood pressure and improving arterial function, especially in adults over the age of 60. One clinical trial published in the Journal of Hypertension produced particularly impressive results. Adults with mildly elevated blood pressure who drank 3 cups of hibiscus tea every day experienced an average reduction of 13 points in systolic blood pressure after just 6 weeks. That's an extraordinary improvement. In fact, the effect was comparable to that seen with certain prescription blood pressure medications. Yet, unlike many medications, hibiscus tea doesn't come with the same concerns about side effects, ongoing costs, or long-term dependence. So how does it work? Hibiscus supports cardiovascular health through several different mechanisms at the same time. It contains powerful plant compounds known as anthocyanins, along with natural organic acids, particularly hibiscus acid. These compounds appear to act as natural ACE inhibitors. ACE inhibitors are among the most commonly prescribed medications used to help lower blood pressure because they relax blood vessels and make it easier for blood to flow. Remarkably, hibiscus appears to support the body through a similar natural pathway, making it one of the most promising beverages for maintaining healthy circulation as we grow older. ACE inhibitors are among the most widely prescribed medications for managing high blood pressure. Their primary role is to block an enzyme that causes blood vessels to tighten and narrow. When that enzyme is inhibited, the arteries relax, allowing blood to move more freely and reducing the workload on the heart. What's remarkable is that hibiscus appears to support the body through a very similar mechanism, using entirely natural plant compounds. But the benefits don't stop there. Research conducted at Tufts University found that adults over the age of 60 who regularly consumed hibiscus experienced a 22% reduction in LDL cholesterol, commonly known as bad cholesterol, over a 12-week period. That's another important advantage for maintaining healthy arteries and supporting long-term cardiovascular health. Let me share another real-life example. Robert, a 74-year-old man from Phoenix, Arizona, came to me feeling discouraged. He was already taking 2 medications to control his blood pressure, and during his most recent appointment, his cardiologist had begun discussing the possibility of adding a third. Naturally, Robert was worried. Every morning he felt lightheaded. By the afternoon, his energy was gone. He told me he felt as though his quality of life was slowly disappearing. Rather than making dramatic lifestyle changes all at once, we focused on one simple addition. We incorporated hibiscus water into his daily routine. He drank 1 cup in the morning and another in the early afternoon. After 10 weeks, something remarkable happened. At his follow-up appointment, his cardiologist was surprised by the improvement in his blood pressure readings. His numbers had improved enough that one of his medications was reduced. Even more importantly, Robert noticed the difference himself. His dizziness disappeared. His energy returned, and he told me something I've never forgotten. "Doctor, I feel like I got 5 years of my life back." If you'd like to prepare hibiscus water at home, it's very simple. Use 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried hibiscus flowers, which are commonly sold in Latin American grocery stores under the name Jamaica. Nest the flowers in 8 ounces of hot water for about 5 to 7 minutes, then allow the tea to cool before drinking. If you prefer a little sweetness, a small amount of raw honey is a much better option. Here's another tip to make this drink even more effective. Enjoy your hibiscus tea with a small piece of dark chocolate containing at least 85% cocoa. The flavonols naturally found in dark chocolate work together with the anthocyanins in hibiscus through complementary pathways that support healthy blood vessel function. Research from King's College London suggests this combination may stimulate nitric oxide production even more effectively than either one alone. Nitric oxide is one of the body's most important molecules for relaxing blood vessels and improving circulation. Before moving on, there's one important point I want to emphasize. If you're currently taking medication to lower your blood pressure, speak with your physician before adding hibiscus tea to your daily routine. This isn't simply a routine warning. Hibiscus can have a meaningful effect on blood pressure, and in some cases, your medication dosage may need to be adjusted. That's genuine medical advice, not just a legal disclaimer. Now we've reached the final drink on today's countdown. This is the one I mentioned at the very beginning of the video. The researchers associated with a 38% reduction in arterial stiffness among adults over the age of 70. Are you ready? The surprising part is that many people walk past it in the grocery store without ever realizing its extraordinary benefits. Let's look at why it's so effective. Beetroot is one of the richest natural sources of dietary nitrates found in everyday foods. When you consume these natural nitrates, something fascinating happens inside your body. Helpful bacteria that naturally live on your tongue begin converting the nitrates into nitrites. Once absorbed into the bloodstream, those nitrites are then converted into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is one of the most important molecules your body can produce for maintaining healthy circulation. If I had to compare it to something familiar, I'd call it the lubricant for your arteries. Just as a lubricant helps mechanical parts move smoothly, nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax, expand, and remain flexible. As your arteries widen, blood flows with less resistance. Oxygen is delivered more efficiently to your muscles and brain. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard to circulate blood throughout the body. Everything functions more smoothly. The scientific evidence supporting beetroot is extremely impressive. Researchers at the University of Exeter, one of the world's leading centers for cardiovascular and exercise science, found that older adults who consumed beetroot juice before physical activity were able to continue exercising 16% longer before becoming fatigued. That may sound like a modest improvement, but for someone in their 70s, an extra 16% can make an enormous difference. It could mean climbing a flight of stairs without stopping, carrying groceries with greater ease, keeping up with grandchildren during family outings, or simply enjoying everyday activities without feeling exhausted. For many older adults, that difference is the line between merely getting through the day and truly enjoying it. But what makes beetroot even more remarkable is that its benefits go far beyond improving physical endurance alone. Its ability to naturally increase nitric oxide production supports healthier blood vessels throughout the entire body, helping protect the heart, improve circulation, and maintain better overall vascular function as we age. What makes beetroot especially valuable after the age of 60 is that it helps replace something your body naturally loses with time. Research published in the journal Hypertension found that the body's natural production of nitric oxide declines by nearly 50% between the ages of 40 and 70. Think about that for a moment. By the time many people reach their 70s, they have lost roughly half of one of the most important molecules responsible for keeping blood vessels healthy. This decline is one of the major reasons blood pressure tends to rise with age, physical endurance decreases, and memory and cognitive performance often begin to decline. Beetroot doesn't simply provide another healthy ingredient. It helps restore a pathway that naturally becomes less active as we grow older. That is why its effects can be so significant. The Harvard-affiliated research I mentioned earlier, conducted through the Brigham and Women's Hospital Research Network, evaluated arterial flexibility using a measurement called pulse wave velocity after only 4 weeks, less than a single month. That level of improvement highlights just how responsive the vascular system can still be, even later in life. If you'd like to add beetroot to your routine, there are 2 excellent ways to do it. The first option is to juice 2 medium-sized raw beets and dilute the juice with approximately 8 ounces of water. If that's not practical, a second option is to mix 1 to 2 teaspoons of a high-quality beetroot powder into 8 ounces of water. When choosing a powder, look for one that contains no added sugar, artificial flavors, or unnecessary fillers. Timing also plays an important role for the greatest benefit. Drink your beetroot water about 90 minutes before the most physically active part of your day. Whether that's a morning walk, gardening, exercise, or a physical therapy session, this gives your body enough time to convert the natural nitrates into nitric oxide before you begin moving. Here's one final tip that makes beetroot even more effective. Pen it with a food rich in vitamin C. Fresh orange juice, kiwi, bell peppers, or any natural source of vitamin C can help stabilize nitric oxide after it's produced. As a result, the beneficial effects last longer in your bloodstream. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that combining beetroot with vitamin C produced greater improvements in blood flow than consuming beetroot alone. One small practical note before you try it. Don't be surprised if your urine, or occasionally your stool, develops a reddish color afterward. This harmless effect is called beeturia. It's caused by the natural pigments in beetroot and is completely normal. It is not blood, so there's no reason to panic. In fact, it's simply a sign that your body is processing one of nature's most powerful foods for supporting healthy circulation. Final thoughts supporting your body after 60. Before we finish, I'd like to leave you with one important message. I don't want you to come away from today's video remembering only a list of healthy drinks. I want you to understand the bigger picture. Once you reach the age of 60, every decision you make about what you eat and drink becomes increasingly important. Not because your best years are behind you, they absolutely are not, but because your body now requires more support than it did decades ago. Think about everything your blood vessels have done for you. For 6, 7, or even 8 decades, they've carried oxygen and nutrients to every organ in your body. They've endured years of stress, countless meals, and the natural wear and tear of aging. And despite everything they've been through, they continue working for you every second of every day. They deserve a little support in return. The 5 drinks we've discussed today, coconut water, tart cherry water, green tea, hibiscus water, and beetroot water, are not miracle cures. Instead, they provide natural compounds that work in harmony with your body's own biological systems. They support the aging vascular system in ways that modern research continues to uncover, and when your circulation improves, something incredible often follows. People begin to feel more energetic. They regain confidence in their movement. Their independence grows. They think more clearly, daily activities become easier. Many even rediscover the joy of doing the simple things they thought aging had taken away. I've seen these changes firsthand throughout many years of caring for patients. These improvements aren't advertising slogans. They're real experiences shared by real people who made consistent, healthy choices over time. Your mobility, your independence, your mental sharpness, your ability to travel, enjoy time with your grandchildren, or wake up feeling refreshed. Those things are not necessarily gone. In many cases, they're simply waiting on the other side of better daily habits. And today, you've already taken one step in that direction simply by learning more about your health. If you found this video helpful, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Every week, I share evidence-based health information designed specifically for adults, over 60 practical guidance that can help you stay healthier, stronger, and more independent as you age. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, a parent, spouse, sibling, close friend, or neighbor, please share this video with them. A simple recommendation could make a meaningful difference in someone's life. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 drinks are you planning to try first? Or perhaps you're already using one of them. Share your experience in the comments below. Your story may encourage another viewer to take the first step toward improving their own health. I truly appreciate every comment and enjoy reading your experiences. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take good care of yourself and stay healthy.